Ever wish your computer just, gotcha?
Yeah.
Like, really understood what you needed and could just do it.
Right.
Whip up some code, search the web, crunch numbers,
Yeah.
all from voice commands.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big idea behind CoSA.
Exactly.
And that's what we're going to dive into today.
It's pronounced CoSA, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Little nod to the Spanish word for thing.
And we're going to actually watch this video he created called A Day in the AI Life.
Oh, wow.
It's a demo of CoSA in action,
Okay.
and it's all controlled by voice commands.
That's like...
Imagine just talking to your computer,
Uh-huh.
and it understands what you need.
That's pretty much the dream, right?
It is.
It's like cut out all that typing and reading and clicking.
And the menus.
So many menus.
Don't even get me started.
Just, hey, find me that article about, and bam, there it is.
Sign me up.
Let's see. It's
Play.
What day is it? Do I have to go to work today?
It's Friday, so yes, you have to go to work.
Carajo. What time is it?
It's 7:27 a.m.
Do I have anything on my to-do list for today?
You have a big demo today on your to-do list.
I can't decide if I should ride my bike today or not. What's the chance of rain in Washington, D.C. today?
The chance of rain in Washington, D.C. today is very low, making it an ideal day for bike riding.
Hey computer, could you do a Google Scholar search in another tab for me and define the term cognitive prosthesis? That's a little dry. Hey computer, could you ask Perplexity for me in another tab if there's such a thing as a cognitive or attention budget? Yeah, that's more like it. Hey, what can you tell me about CoSA, or CoSA, a collection of small agents?
Let me see. CoSA, or Collection of Small Agents, is a concept developed by Rick Ruiz. It involves a collection of small, specialized agents that can be optimized for various tasks, including code generation. The idea is that code is memory and can be replayed in the future when a similar solution is needed.
A day in the AI life.mp4. Wow, that was
incredible.
so smooth, jumping between all those tasks.
Weather, appointments, even research.
All just voice commands.
What's it like talking to, I don't know.
A real assistant.
Yeah, exactly. And super fast responses, too.
That was a key part of his design, minimizing that attention budget depletion.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely felt that.
It's like our brains just get tired from all that information sifting.
All the time.
Right.
It's the brainchild of Rick Ruiz.
Okay.
A Google engineer, actually.
Wow, Google, huh?
Yeah. He used his sabbatical year to really tackle this problem that, frankly, a lot of us face: digital overload.
Yeah, I feel that. And it's a personal story, too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I was reading that Ruiz had a health issue that made typing difficult.
Yeah.
So that kind of pushed him even further down this voice command path.
Exactly. It's fascinating how limitations can breed innovation.
It's true.
Ruiz isn't claiming that voice is the only future of user experience or anything like that.
Right.
But he sees it as a key part of how we'll interact with computers, going forward. And CoSA is his way of exploring that.
So what makes CoSA different from, say, just using Siri or Alexa? I mean, those can handle voice commands pretty well already.
Right. The difference is in the small agents concept.
Small agents, okay.
Think of it like having a team of specialists.
Okay.
Each one incredibly good at one thing.
I like that.
You've got an agent for search, one for summarizing text, another for math.
Okay, got it.
Even one for generating code. That's where things get really interesting.
Okay, color me intrigued.
Yeah.
So how do these agents actually work together? Is it like a digital relay race?
Sort of.
Sure.
Ruiz designed CoSA with 4 kind of main modes of operation.
Okay.
Browser mode, replay mode, agentic mode, and free play mode.
Okay.
Each one leverages these specialists in different ways.
Okay, let's break those down a bit. What's happening in browser mode?
Okay, so browser mode is like your front line for quick commands.
Gotcha.
You tell CoSA to open a new tab, search for something specific, or even just navigate to a website. It uses a mix of like exact matching, keyword recognition, and even some of those fancy language models to figure out what you mean.
Okay.
Speed is key here.
So it's like giving very precise instructions to a like super efficient digital assistant.
Yeah.
What about replay mode?
Okay.
That sounds almost like deja vu.
It's all about efficiency.
Okay.
CoSA keeps a record of like previously generated solutions.
Uh-huh.
So if you ask a question similar to something you've asked before,
Yeah.
it can skip all the heavy lifting and just replay the relevant solution.
That's clever. Saves time and processing power.
Exactly.
And what about agentic mode? Is this where things get delegated?
You got it.
Right.
CoSA has this routing adapter that like acts like a project manager.
Okay.
You give it a new task, and it figures out which specialized agent is best suited for the job,
Right.
and then just passes it along, keeps everything running smoothly.
Okay. And lastly, we've got free play mode.
Right.
That sounds a little more unpredictable.
This is where CoSA gets to flex its creative muscles.
Okay.
It utilizes what's called retrieval augmented generation,
Oh, wow.
or RAG for short.
RAG. Got it.
Imagine a receptionist, right,
Uh-huh.
who can not only answer your questions directly,
Right.
but can also pull up files, do live web searches, and kind of synthesize information from all those sources to give you a really comprehensive response.
So in free play mode, it's less about giving commands and more about having a conversation with like a really smart research assistant.
Exactly. And all of this is built on a foundation that's honestly pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, lay it on me.
CoSA treats code as a form of memory.
Hold on. Code is memory.
Yeah.
That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It kind of is.
How does that even work?
It's a brilliant approach, really.
Okay.
Rather than relying solely on massive data sets like a lot of AI systems do,
Yeah.
CoSA learns by reusing and refining the code it's generated before.
So it's not just like storing the data.
Right.
It's storing the process
Yeah.
of how it got to that data.
Exactly.
It's like remembering the steps of a recipe
Uh-huh.
rather than just the ingredients, you know?
That's a great analogy. And this approach has a couple of big advantages.
Okay. Like what?
First, it means CoSA can execute tasks way faster
Makes sense.
because it doesn't have to start from scratch every time.
Right. Right.
Like having a shortcut to the solution.
And second, it's constantly refining its methods, right?
Exactly.
Learning as it goes.
Yep.
Becoming more efficient, more accurate.
Like having a self-improving code library.
It's pretty wild.
It is. And Ruiz takes this idea of efficiency even further with the debugging process.
Oh, interesting.
CoSA has this incremental debugger that intentionally introduces bugs.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
It purposely breaks its own code.
Well, yeah.
That sounds a little counterintuitive.
It might seem that way, but it's actually brilliant.
Okay.
By injecting these controlled errors,
Uh-huh.
the debugger can pinpoint exactly where things go wrong
Right.
and fix them fast. It's all about minimizing wasted resources,
I see.
streamlining the whole development process.
Sort of like a chef
Yeah.
tasting their dish at every stage of cooking
Uh-huh.
just to make sure the flavors are balanced.
I like that.
A constant quality check.
Exactly. And this dedication to efficiency, I mean, it's evident throughout CoSA's design.
Yeah.
Ruiz was really adamant about minimizing reliance on expensive hardware, which is why it runs so smoothly on just regular consumer grade equipment.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it. We're talking about a system that can, handle complex tasks like code generation,
Yeah.
natural language processing,
Uh-huh.
all without needing a supercomputer.
Right. And this focus on efficiency has some interesting implications
Like what?
for the future of, AI development.
Okay.
If a system like CoSA can achieve such impressive performance with limited resources,
Right.
imagine what it could do with access to Google's massive infrastructure.
That's a great point. Now that you mentioned Google, I did read that Ruiz challenged his own employer
He did.
to, think about the potential cost savings of using a system like CoSA on their servers.
That's right. He argued that reducing reliance on those power-hungry GPUs could lead to some, serious savings,
Wow.
both financially and environmentally.
It's a provocative thought,
It is.
and one that I'm sure got some attention in those Google boardrooms.
I would imagine so.
It really makes you wonder, could a system like CoSA become the backbone of a more sustainable AI industry?
It's possible.
Pretty bold vision.
It is. And it speaks to, I think, a larger trend in AI development.
Oh, okay. What's that?
Moving away from brute force computation
Oh.
towards more, elegant, human-inspired solutions.
Absolutely.
Ruiz has managed to like blend the power of LLMs with his own understanding of code to create something really innovative.
Speaking of LLMs, we've talked a lot about how CoSA uses them, you know,
Wow.
for things like understanding language and generating code.
Yeah.
But I do remember reading about one particular quirk.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, it's surprisingly good at
What's that?
spelling the word strawberry.
Yes,
It's almost comical, right?
it is.
You'd think, like, with all the complex calculations in code it can handle,
You'd think so.
spelling a simple word would be a piece of cake.
Right. But LLMs, even the most advanced ones,
Yeah.
they can struggle with these like seemingly basic tasks.
It's a good reminder that even the most powerful AI
Yeah.
still has its limitations.
For sure.
But what's interesting is that Ruiz seems to, like, embrace these quirks.
Yeah, he does.
He even uses them to illustrate the strengths of CoSA's approach.
Absolutely. He sees those limitations as like opportunities
Uh-huh.
to push the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
Yeah,
It's not about creating a perfect system,
right.
but one that's adaptable, constantly learning, and,
Uh-huh.
capable of surprising us in unexpected ways.
Like acing a spelling test with the word strawberry.
Exactly. You got to give it points for originality.
Right.
Indeed.
We're going to listen to CoSA tackle some surprisingly tough math problems.
Wow. Okay. I'm intrigued. Let's hear it.
All right, so this is from a clip called CoSA Takes on 5 Hard Math Questions.
Okay.
How many times does the letter R occur in the word strawberry?
The letter R occurs 3 times in the word strawberry.
What's worth more, 100 pennies or 3 quarters?
100 pennies is indeed worth more than 3 quarters.
Which number is larger, 9.9 or 9.11?
9.9 is larger.
If a train travels 60 miles in 1.5 hours, how far will it travel in 2 hours?
The train will travel approximately 80 miles in 2 hours.
Which weighs more, a pound of water, 2 pounds of bricks, a pound of feathers, or 3 pounds of air?
Among the options, 3 pounds of air weighs the most.
Whoa! Square roots comparing weights.
Yeah.
It's like this thing just aced a high school math quiz or something.
Yeah, that's wild. And you said that it wasn't even specifically designed to be like a math whiz, right?
Yeah, and what's even crazier is one of the models that CoSA uses is actually like a year old and deprecated.
What? So it's using outdated tech and it's still crushing these math problems. That's incredible. This is a perfect example of what we call emergent behavior in AI.
Emergent behavior.
Yeah, basically, sometimes when you combine different AI components, they develop these capabilities that go way beyond their original programming.
So like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly. But beyond, the technical marvels and funny anecdotes,
Yeah.
there's a larger message here, I think. So zooming out a bit here,
Yeah.
what does all this mean for like the average listener, right? Someone who maybe isn't a programmer or, deep in the AI world.
Uh-huh.
Why should they care about CoSA?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
CoSA might seem like this like niche project,
Yeah.
but I think there are some takeaways here for anyone who like used technology on this.
Absolutely.
Firstly, it shows that incredibly powerful tools are becoming more accessible.
Right.
Ruiz built this entire system on like regular consumer hardware.
Yeah.
Not some like $1 million setup.
Exactly.
That means similar innovations are within reach for more people
Right.
if they have the right skills and drive.
For sure.
It's inspiring, honestly.
It is.
Makes you realize you don't need a giant corporation behind you to make a big impact.
Exactly. Second takeaway, I think, is that CoSA is all about personalized solutions.
Uh-huh.
Ruiz was driven by his own needs, his own limitations.
Right.
And the system reflects that.
I see.
It suggests that the future of tech might be less about one size fits all
Yeah.
and more about tailoring things to, individual abilities, preferences, all that.
A move towards like more human-centered design
Yeah.
rather than forcing humans to like adapt to the tech.
Exactly. And lastly, I think CoSA reminds us that AI isn't just about these massive data sets and crazy algorithms we hear so much about.
Right.
It's about using ingenuity to solve real-world problems.
Yeah.
Ruiz blended his coding knowledge with the power of LLMs, and created something both cutting edge and practical.
It's a great example of AI, like augmenting human capabilities,
Yeah.
not replacing them, making us more efficient, more creative, more empowered.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I think that's the core message to take away from our deep dive into CoSA today.
I agree.
It's a peek into a future where technology isn't just a tool.
Right.
It's like a partner in helping us achieve our goals, overcome obstacles, all that.
Totally.
So for everyone listening,
Yeah.
I encourage you to check out Rick Ruiz's work.
Yeah, for sure.
Let your imagination run wild. What could voice interfaces, personalized AI, and this focus on efficiency do for you? For your work, your creative process, even just your daily life?
It's a good question. It's a question worth pondering.
It is.
And as always, stay curious. Always. Keep learning. Don't be afraid to explore this world,
The world of tech.
Exactly. Who knows? You might be the next Rick Ruiz.
It's true.
Building the next CoSA that changes the game.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, folks.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Until next time, keep those brains buzzing.